Hi everyone, in this video we'll look at why agentic AI systems fail in production. Okay, so idea is that most of the systems that get built, they would look good to the eye, the demo would look good, but ultimately things get deployed into the production environment and suddenly things start to break and the systems fail. Now why is that? Why does that happen? So what we'll do is I'll basically list 6 to 7 reasons as to why most agentic AI systems fail in production, and then we will see a quick demo of a system we have in place, methods, approaches we follow, considering that eventually what it started off as a POC would go into production. Yes, so first and foremost reason obviously is that sometimes these systems send the entire document to the model. Okay, and what happens when that happens is the system becomes slow when you add more complex agents to the system. Initially it's fine, but then as you make the system near to your actual scenario, systems, the latency starts to become more, that is more time is needed to process the data, and it becomes expensive because you are utilizing a lot of input tokens when you're sending full documents, full text to the model, right? So obviously the solution is clause based chunking. If you have, let's say, different documents and you are doing a review system of those documents, instead of sending the entire set of text, you can divide the text into different clauses. You can do clause based chunking, right? And also do some selective routing. We'll look at that as to how we have done in our system. But yes, this is one of the reasons why systems fail. Moving to the second one, sometimes these systems, since they start off as a POC, a lot of things are hard coded, and since the design is not proper from the start, instead of the system being conflict based, it's more hard coded. Things like region, industry, a lot of hard coding is happening in the code. Okay, because things are being created for one client, one system, right? Instead of designing it properly at the start only and having it more config based, and decision also being taken based on the config and the tenant or the customer, and not a static decision, right? So this also leads to a lot of breaks in the production. Then a lot of times you get the decision output from AI using different agentic steps, and obviously using generative AI models at the back end of those steps. But a lot of times you don't have explainability as to why a particular answer was given by AI or why a particular decision was taken. So it's always good to have explainability in your answers. Okay, so that if at all audit happens, or if your legal teams you want to see why we are taking such a decision, you can always go back to those logs or persistent storage, where you have basically stored the explainability of the AI decision. Okay, and then no cost controls. Sometimes you just take the output, and the systems, since they are automatic, since they are running on autopilot, you don't zero in or consider the costs which the system is incurring because of the systems you have in place. Okay, so the whole idea of having AI, that you want to reduce the costs, gets a beating, because ultimately the AI system itself is exploding because of costs, right? And there is no monitoring of the costs, and there is no consideration with respect to cost, because the design was not done at the start, the cost budgeting was not done at the start. Okay, so this is also one of the reasons. Then you should always have good logs in place, execution logs, token usage monitoring, metadata should be stored. A lot of times agentic AI systems won't have that, right? And then a lot of times over automation and taking risky decisions, because AI you think that is able to take a decision, so a lot of times when a human should have taken a decision, AI is taking a decision, which is not good. There has to be a balance between AI and humans right now, because considering the level of Gen AI we are in right now. So obviously you should have decision agent thresholds. What is the threshold when you can allow the decision agent to take a decision? Beyond that, then you have to involve humans. So all those things should be there in the system. And yes, sometimes since it is not mandatory, a lot of times you won't have a memory layer in place. By memory I mean the persistent data storage. It could be any database, DynamoDB, RDBMS, whatever, but idea is that few things should be stored in the system for you to go back and check if at all audit happens, or if you want to review your decisions, you want to improve on what you have already built. A lot of times these systems won't have that persistent storage, and things start to crumble, right? So this is what I wanted to basically show. Now what we'll do is we will have a quick demo of the contract review system we have in place. Yes, so this is the place where I'll upload the contract file. Okay, so contract got uploaded. Let's quickly check if these step functions orchestration got triggered. Yes, so it got triggered with this name, and currently it is running. Okay, so the entire workflow has finished. We have the output. Okay, let's quickly check the output. So compliance status failed, GDPR violation it saw, and the decision was that it should be escalated to the legal team. Okay, so it's not only AI which is taking the decision, there are thresholds in place. Right now let me go to CloudWatch, and this is the log I have in the compliance agent. So let's look at if we have explainability here. Yes, so this was the response from compliance agent. You see you have explainability, clause level explainability, which means it tells you if a particular clause, it is telling us past what was the reasoning behind it, or if at all it failed a particular clause, what was the reasoning behind it. So clause level explainability or reasoning we have, and very similar stuff we are doing in the risk agent as well. Okay, then let me show you another logging we are doing. So we are logging the input and output tokens, the total input and output costs, right, and obviously the total costs as well. These attributes you can then store in your persistent storage also. Moving to the ingestion related logs, let me check the logs for the current execution. So you have clause level routing happening. So after ingestion, once the entire text is extracted, then you basically are classifying the clauses under various heads. First of all, clause type, and then based on the agent you only send the clauses which are required for that agent. So let's say in the entire document, if I have 25 different clauses, maybe only 19 are needed for risk, or maybe 15 are needed for compliance, right? And a few of these clauses would be needed for both. So that logic also we are putting, so that the input tokens going to the risk agent then reduces, and we are not sending the entire document. And similarly, we are breaking it down into compliance related clauses and sending only those clauses to the compliance agent. Okay, so this is clause level routing. Okay, and lastly, I would also show you the different key value pairs we are storing in our DynamoDB. Okay, so this is a job ID. If I go inside of this, you would see there is a summary for compliance, there is a total cost we are storing for compliance, there is the decision which the decision agent is taking at the end, the risk summary, okay, the risk cost, and the final status. Okay, so, and plus we have the reasons as well, okay, which is not showing here because it's a list. So you have the decision, you have the reasons for that decision, you have the summary of the output from each agent, you have the costs getting stored at the backend. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show as to what production ready systems need to do, not just getting an output and showing it to the user, but apart from the outputs as well, few things which may look redundant or unnecessary are the most necessary things as far as sustainability of these systems is concerned, right, especially in production. Hope this video was informative. By the way, if you are doing anything similar with respect to high risk document review systems, especially on AWS, there would be link in the description. You can try to have a consultation or audit call with us, and we can see how we can help you. Hope you like the video, and so until next time, this is Romit from Epicenter. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.